Hello, this is George Tab with Life Without Limits Coaching and Counseling. And I want to thank you for listening to this video and just want to take a couple minutes and talk to you about something that I believe is just absolutely important. It's been one of the key cornerstones to my success in business and in life. And today I want to talk about self-mastery. And my definition of self mastery is your ability to get your body to be in line with your intentions. A lot of times, we intend to lose weight, we intend to earn more money, but yet we find ourselves saying, well, I'm not going to do this to earn more money. Or you may find yourself eating a donut at 11 o'clock at night. Well, what do you think is going to happen? And so self-mastery is all about getting yourself, getting your mind, getting your actions to line up to what it is your intentions are. And so I want to take a few minutes, and I've trained on this subject, for the last 18 years in various different environments and training settings. And so today, I just want to spend some time talking about that. And, I've studied, I've practiced, I've taught over the past 18 years. I've learned that if I was going to do anything extraordinarily, I had to master myself. So often we hear about the enemy outside, but we never address the enemy that's on the inside of you. I heard Les Brown say that if there's no enemy within, then an enemy without can do no harm. So what I'd like to do today is give you 5 strategies to help you master yourself. Starting out in the direct sales industry, I learned that I was a leader. And the first person that I had to learn to lead was myself. So here are 5 points that I want to give you that will get you on the road, that help me get on the road to mastery. Now, here's what I want you to understand. This is not something that you will ever master, because there's always, a higher level that you can always get to. And so this is not a destination, but it's a journey. And so the first point that I would like to go over with you that I believe helped me was point number 1 is set a goal to discover yourself. So how can you motivate yourself? How do you know what speaks to you if you don't know yourself? How do you grow yourself as a person if you don't know yourself? So the beginning of moving forward is understanding where you are. The exciting thing is you can get anywhere from where you are right now. I remember taking a long way on a family road trip. That's where you hit every little small town. And you look at all the scenery and the sights. And we were happening to going through this little town, and as I travel across North Carolina, it's just a beautiful state, but we have a lot of small towns here. And what I figured out is a lot of the small towns are known for something. Often dealing with something historical, it may have happened in that town. In essence, they have their own claim to fame. And so what I wanted to know when I got to this one particular town is I wanted to know what their claim to fame was. So I asked one of the citizens in that town, and I said, what are you guys known for here in this town? And he said, you can get anywhere from here. He said, you go anywhere in the world from here. So from where you are, you can go anywhere to do anything or achieve anything. Point number 2, set a goal to develop yourself. If you want things to get better, you have to get better. And the reason you have to set a goal is because you can't achieve the goal that you don't set. So if you get to the destination, how are you going to know you got there if you didn't set it as a goal? And so that's one of the reasons why New Year's resolutions don't work. I think it's a great idea because it gets people to thinking about what they want to do in the up and coming year. But we already know that 97 million people set a New Year's resolution, and by the first week of that new year, 71 million people have already given up or relapsed on that resolution. So if you want long-standing change and consistent growth, then I encourage you to set a goal to grow the biggest organization that most people will ever run, called You Enterprises. You like that? I know I do. Okay, number 3 is invest time in learning about meditation. I believe that meditation is one of the most misunderstood practices in the Western Hemisphere. No matter what religion you are, everyone can benefit from sitting in a room and being quiet. That's what meditation is. I always say prayer is you talking to God and meditation is God talking to you. And so I found that meditation helps to slow my thoughts down. And by slowing my thoughts down, I've been able to improve my ability to get my actions to line up with what I want. And the more you align your thoughts and your actions, the better your chances of creating success at your endeavor. Now, I can say a lot more, but for now, let's just say it's the secret sauce. Point number 4, set an exercise goal. I sometimes visualize my mind and my body in a constant power struggle. And sometimes my mind wants to do things that my body don't want to do. And so success, as I alluded to earlier, to when I was talking about meditation, is getting your actions and your thoughts to line up. And so what I found is that my body sometimes don't want to do what my mind has intended to do. And so a great way for me to get my body in line with the goals that I want to do for that particular day or for that moment is with exercise. Exercise is a great way for me to discipline my body. Not only that, but it makes me feel great. And once my body feels great, and then my body gives my mind the green light and says, George, let's go, let's do it, I feel great. There are all kinds of hormones and neurotransmitters that are released when you exercise. So everything that I'm saying about the body has been studied and is based upon psychological, physiological results. Now here's number 5. Number 5 is set a goal to find a mentor. One of the things my mentor used to say is when you see a turtle sitting on a fence post, know that he didn't get there by himself. You can't do it alone. Success does not happen in a vacuum. You need a partner, a guide, preferably someone that's been where you are and where you want to go, and is willing to show you how to get there. I love this story because it's a great example about having a life guide. About a year ago, I took my family to the mountains here in North Carolina, and my wife and I were feeling ambitious, and so we decided that we were going to hike up a trail. That was about 1.5 miles up the mountain and 1.5 miles down the mountain. And I thought we'd never get to the top. My wife and I walked 1.5 miles like a walk in the park. We walk together all the time. But this was a little different because this had a lot of rocks and steep inclines to climb, and we had to stop and rest. And we had to take water breaks along the way, and it was more like a journey, if you will. Okay? And so it seemed like the more we climbed, the further we had to climb. And during one of those times, I was really starting to feel my muscles getting fatigued, and I could see up ahead that there was someone coming down the mountain trail. And they looked at my wife, and they said, you just have a little bit more to go. Just up around that big rock, and you'll just a stone throw away from the top, and the view is awesome. That was so encouraging, and it energized me because in my mind, I knew I had came too far to turn back, and I was too close to the top to turn around. So there was nothing for me to do but go up the mountain. We arrived to the top of the mountain, and the view was spectacular. It was unbelievable. The feel of goal achievement was incredible, and it sent my endorphins off the chart. But I might have missed it if it hadn't been for the encouraging words of someone who had been to the mountaintop and could give me instructions on how to get there. Now I ask you, what's the value in that? Remember, the goal coach can empower you to gain optimum ability to live life forever, and that's the GOAL acronym. Hey, God bless you. Take charge, take control, and I look forward to hearing and seeing you on our next video. God bless you.